Hey guys, so I wanted to make a quick video about what you should do if you find yourself in a present moment 3D situation that you hate. Like you have a job right now that you can't stand, or you're in a living situation that you can't stand, and basically while you're waiting for your 3D reality to change, what do? You know what I mean? It can be very distracting to constantly see that you don't have what you want. And the way to approach this is pretty simple. Wallace Wattles, the author of The Science of Getting Rich, calls it doing things in the certain way. And basically what it means is that you do every single thing throughout your day, including at the things that you hate, including interacting with the people that you would love to have gone from your life, being at the job that you can't stand, looking in the mirror when you don't look the way you want, just whatever other example you can come up with. You do everything in the certain way, meaning that your attitude regarding every action you take, every thought you have, everything you do it with the sense of certainty that you are going to get what you want. This is what Neville Goddard calls thinking from the end and living in the end. But mostly I'm talking about thinking from the end, which obviously thinking and living in a state of feeling are two things that go together, but there's a difference between the two. Living in the end is kind of just sitting with the feeling that you have it all the time. Thinking from the end, acting from the end is more referring to your human thoughts and actions. And so you go to your job every day, and instead of sitting there all day with the feeling of I hate this, and sort of that feeling of dread and doom, or like, I don't know how this is going to change. What if this lasts forever? That kind of thing. You don't sit in that sense of emotion anymore. You sit with the feeling and act and think from the state of, I know that this is changing soon. I know that this isn't forever. You might even find that there are aspects to the thing that you don't like that you actually do like and that you will miss when it's gone. I have an example of this. I think I've talked about this here, but briefly in my 20s, when I was 26, 27, through a series of events, I ended up moving back in with my mom for like a year and a half. And for like maybe the first 6 months I was there, I was just totally dejected about it. I didn't have the money to move out. I was working on my first business at the time, which was a resale business on Amazon, and it really needed all of my funds. I was trying to get it off the ground. There was a lot of opportunity, but I needed a lot of capital to be able to capitalize on it. And so it would have been, in order to add at that point like $1,500 a month in living expenses or something like that, that would have put a serious dent in the forward motion of the thing that I was working on, which obviously I needed to get to a certain point overall so that it could just pay my $1,500 a month or whatever indefinitely. So I was kind of between a rock and a hard place, and I just felt really stuck. And I was just like, I'm at my mom's, I'm single, I want to meet somebody, but like, I can't really do it from this standpoint. Just like a lot of ideas about that. And I had a shift about 6 months into it where I realized, man, I'm just kind of wallowing in this like situation, this undesirable situation. I'm wallowing in this. Really what I need to be doing is realizing that legitimately I'm probably not going to live here for that much longer. I don't know if it's going to be 6 months or 2 years, but either way, that's a pretty short period of time in the grand scheme of my entire life. This is probably the last time I'm ever going to be living with my mom in the house I grew up in. And when I look at it that way, this is kind of a special time. I didn't plan on ever living here again. So I kind of have this little magical moment here where I'm sort of, getting a chance to relive some of the stuff from childhood. And this is the last time I'm probably ever going to do this. So I should be looking at every day from that perspective. I just kind of came upon that from living in this state of the stuff I talk about on this channel all the time. So I had that shift, and it's similar, I think, to what you'll find if you look at the undesirable situation that you're in. Even if there are very undesirable parts about it, if you start to approach it as this is going to be over soonish, at some point, the days here are numbered. I've decided it's going to be different. The universe, the divine intelligence, God, my higher self, whatever language you like, it's all the same shit, is orchestrating all the events that I need in order to move forward with my life. What about this situation do I actually like? Even if you're in a bad living situation with certain people that you don't like, there might be aspects about that you actually will miss. You might actually miss being in a roommate living type of situation when you're living on your own, or there will almost definitely, if you're single and you want a relationship, there are almost definitely things about being single that you will miss as a coupled person. There are probably things about your current job that you like, about your current schedule. Start focusing on those things and do everything else with the sense of certainty that it will soon be changing in the direction that you want it to go in. That is thinking from the end, living in the end. That is doing things in the certain way, as well as Waddle says. I love that. Doing things in the certain way. It's not doing things in a particular way that will get you what you want. It's doing things with a sense of certainty that you will get what you want. And dude, you guys, this stuff works. It's real. This isn't some pie in the sky crap. I get comments about this all the time about how this stuff is bullshit. It's not. When you change your mind, you change your whole orientation to something, you're different towards it. Your actions are different. You can imagine that the person in the state of I'm doomed, I'm going to be in a situation I don't like for the rest of my life, that person is going to be different from the person whose attitude towards the whole thing is, I get wherever I want, I get whatever I want, I can do anything. Those are two very different mentalities. And it doesn't take a lot of imagination to understand how those two people will produce an entirely different reality. And if you can agree with that, then you can understand why this entire thing works the way it does. There is a sort of unexplainable magical element to a lot of this, and I think that's where a lot of people get tripped up. When there's something you can't explain, a lot of people are tempted to just say, well, that's proof that there's random chance, or this thing didn't happen that I intended for, so there's proof that this doesn't work. Eventually you're going to get there through life experience or something. So maybe just take it on faith and start to live your life from the vantage point of, I'm here to fulfill my dreams. If I want something, it's meant to happen. If I truly want something, if there's a true desire for something, the kind that doesn't go away, the kind that doesn't change with the wind. If there's something in me that I desperately want to express, there's just like this thing, start to have some faith that things like that aren't put there just to make you suffer and experience wanting but not having. Start looking at those things as, these are the things that are meant to happen in my life, and I just have to get out of the way for them to happen. I hope that helps somebody. Have a great day.